Hello, fellow pun lovers and pony lovers. Bright Idea here. For those who subscribed to me while I posted daily dad joke shorts all through 2025, how many of you looked through the rest of my catalog and discovered my channel hosts parody content based on My Little Pony Friendship is Magic? I dare say a few shorts might have clued you into that fact.
Son, I have something to tell you, but it hurts me to say it.
Oh my gosh, what is it, Dad?
I have a sore throat.
This joke is funny because it reminds me of the humble origins of this very channel. The first Bright Idea mascot was in fact a little horse. Well, unicorn, but I digress. What did the horse dress up as for Halloween? A nightmare. As a My Little Pony fan and thus someone who's heard plenty of horse puns, better saddle up, partner, because I've seen way punnier horse costumes than this foolish calendar. Why be a nightmare when you could be a Pegasus or a unicorn? How about a dragon?
Though the franchise has continued with a brand new cast of characters, slew of silly stories, and a few different animation styles, ever since what's popularly known as MLP Gen 4 had its finale back in 2019, I've decided to lean more into the punny rather than the pony of it all. Still, that doesn't keep me from looking back fondly at the fun stuff I used to make. On a whim, I recently took a look at my channel analytics, to see what the most popular videos on my channel are. And to absolutely nobody's surprise, all of them are at least 5 years old and in some way pony related. My channel owes a lot of its success to that of the cartoon horse show I literally got my bright idea from, and nostalgia's a powerful thing. So, to honor my 11-year anniversary, this video is Actually, before I go any further, let me just change real quick. Give me a sec. Ah, that's much better. As I was saying, in honor of my 11-year anniversary, or as I like to call it, my Punniversary, this video is a countdown of my top 11 most popular videos, starting with number 11. This music video was among the fastest projects I ever did, going from conception to completion within 5 hours, back when I had an abundance of free time. Queen is one of my favorite bands ever, with Don't Stop Me Now as a high-energy, heart-pumping song that makes me smile every time. Pinkie Pie is one of my favorite characters from any show ever, because she's high-energy, hilarious, and makes me smile every time I think about her. Perfect match if you ask me. If you haven't seen this music video of mine, the editing still holds up and gives me a nice boost of candy-coated can-do attitude, and I highly recommend it. Number 10. I'm honestly surprised this song did numbers on YouTube compared to the other covers I've done through the years, but then again, it is a Disney classic, and who doesn't love a good spooky song popularized by Bing Crosby? A few days after releasing this cover, and in honor of Halloween, I posted a companion video reviewing different adaptations of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow besides the Disney version. And as far as most viewed videos, it's only a few slots under my singing, so if you're as into spooky stories as I am, you'll probably like what I had to say on the subject. Number 9. This video is the only one from 2020 to just make it into the top 10, and that makes me so happy. Originally, this idea started as a comic commission for Jasper Pie back in 2019, so I basically had the storyboard well before I made it into a proper full-fledged video. What I appreciate most about this project was Jasper matching my punny energy and saying yes to the, well, bright idea in the first place. Like many comic adaptations, some changes had to be made, most notably my friend Brony Buck telling me to hurry up in order instead of Firebrand, but I feel the punchline and the payoff still holds up. I was also pleased to have my British friend the editor feature in the beginning, pre-Pizza Shop visit. By the way, that's just his character name. I did all my own editing for these videos, except, funny enough, for the next video coming in at number 8. Honestly, I'm amazed this video ranked so high given how dated it now feels. Since this video's release in October 2015, both mine and the editor's character designs and editing styles have gone through many changes and evolutions in the past decade, so I can't deny part of me absolutely cringes when I look back on this one, and I'll bet good money my friend feels similarly. Nonetheless, it stands as one of my earliest attempts at review/analysis, so I can't really fault past me for not being at present me's level. It also represents something of a bygone era before the death of internet flash games, and sadly it's hard to find working examples of General Zoi's old pony creator anymore. Since it was the original method I used for making character poses specifically for video making, it still holds a special place in my memory. That being said, don't ask about the beginning or ending of this video. Back in those days it felt like every collab had its own branching storyline and bookending framing device. Number 7. As one among very few videos on my channel that aren't pony related, I'm proud this still made it into my top 11 on top of those previously mentioned. Thanks to the suggestion of a friend I still keep in touch with to this day, I got to dig into some cartoons that I'd previously never seen and share my impressions and opinions of them with fresh eyes. I had a lot of fun making this video and connecting with others who appreciated the Discovery Kids era before it turned into the Hub and ponies took over. I have no idea if Tuttenstein, Kenny the Shark, Time Warp Trio, or other Discovery Kids shows are still easily accessible on streaming platforms today, but I highly recommend these fun and entertaining educational cartoons if you still can. Number 6. Of all the musical parodies I've made on my channel, this is simultaneously one of the favorites I've ever worked on, and the one with the worst timing in hindsight. Let me explain. Since Taylor Swift's Blank Space was a huge hit back in 2014, I had the brilliant idea to write a parody about a young trio of characters who famously had blank spaces on their flanks: Apple Bloom, Scootaloo, and Sweetie Belle. I decided to sing as Apple Bloom and write from her perspective because I had a better Apple Bloom voice compared to the other two, and I'd say the final result speaks for itself. In a hilarious twist of fate, the episode Crusaders of the Lost Mark aired a mere 9 days later, and, spoiler alert, the formerly blank behind foals got their long-awaited cutie marks. This essentially meant that my Apple Bloom bemoaning how long she and her friends had to wait for magic puberty essentially only had to wait a week or so. In other words, much ado about nothing. Still, I appreciate that my songwriting and performance got the recognition that it has, and that the video largely still holds up on its own. Number 5. This video requires some backstory, but thankfully not too much. Round Trip was a Brony YouTuber who rose quickly back in 2018 for his stick pony renditions of the MLP movie and the final couple seasons of Friendship is Magic. He also did a couple a cappella music videos and original music as well, and back in summer 2018, he put out an audition call for singers who did character impressions. I reached out to him and sent him this video before posting it to YouTube, and though I didn't end up doing the song he was auditioning for, I'm actually mystified what happened to that particular project in the end. I did end up doing a couple collaborations on his channel that did quite well, and I even got to join him on an actual panel at the final BronyCon. Thanks to this silly audition, I made a fun friend, and though I haven't seen him post much in the last few years, I wish Round Trip all the best in life and hope he's doing well. Number 4. Coming in at number 4 is the oldest video on this list, an Animaniacs-inspired musical parody where instead of Yakko singing the nations of the world, I cram every MLP character and creature featured in the show up to that time. Are the lyrics sorely outdated? Yes. Do the singing and audio editing hold up? No. Is it something I'm still proud to say I made? Absolutely. Because of this parody, I more or less made a name for myself in the Brony fandom, and it inspired similar projects that each built on the success of those that came before, including a follow-up song listing all MLP characters in 2017, a song listing all the writers who worked on Friendship is Magic. Oh, and how could I possibly forget? Number 3. This video and the sequels that followed were probably the hardest I'd worked on a parody, and the most rewarding based on the positive response the series received. Back in those days, I was a huge fan not just of My Little Pony itself, but the fan community that built itself around it, putting out art, music, writing, original animation, and so much else, and expressing their personalities and creativity through avatars that took the form of unicorns, pegasi, dragons, and other creatures that might inhabit the magical world of Equestria. Exactly what possessed me to tackle such an ambitious project all those years ago? A fan suggested I make Yakko's Nations of the World song, but with bronies. I must have had a true surplus of confidence to parody the same tune twice. Fun fact, the script and lyrics took me about 2 weeks to write. Not only did I see this as a terrific opportunity to honor a bunch of people I looked up to all at the same time, I also might have had the teensiest desire to become, pardon the phrase, horse famous. I know, talk about cringe, blech. In a way though, it kinda worked. Many people that I hoped might take notice of me and my work left lovely comments on the video, including Dr. Wolf, Dusty Cat, Lightning Bliss, ANY, Josh Scorcher, Brawny Buck, and a bunch of other names you probably haven't thought about in a while, if you recognize them at all. In any case, between the characters and Creatures of MLP and this Brony Song, I improved a lot in terms of audio and video editing, and I'd like to think the effort still shows. Plus, it inspired a second and a third song listing people in the fandom I thought worth mentioning. While those were fun collaborations in their own right, neither reached quite the same level of popularity as the first one, though both did at least make it into the top 20 most watched videos, so there is that. Each list feels like a time capsule for who in the fandom was making stuff I had a passing knowledge of at least, and an admiration for at most. If you're not from the Brony fandom, then they might not make much sense, but to those who do know what I'm singing about, it feels like being part of a special magical herd. Number 2. This video actually marks my first time making an official PMV, or Pony Music Video. Up to that point, I was trying my hand at different creative formats and seeing what stuck. Animated reaction videos to new episodes, song parodies, and even one speed paint. What's remarkable about this particular music video is that I was able to make and post it only a day after the episode that inspired it aired, a highly unusual feat for me. I honestly don't know how it still gets views here and there over a decade later, but I suppose people still like looking up bad romance and My Little Pony. Number 1. The pièce de résistance and the crowning masterpiece this list has been building up towards is none other than my parody combining My Little Pony with Back to the Future. Though this is the only film parody on this channel, this was not my first rodeo. I have a playlist of other film parodies I made even earlier, starting in February 2015 with Kung Pony Enter the Hoof. Due to copyright issues, it's only available via private link, so if you're curious, look in the description and do with that what you will. Anyway, Back to the Future. Because it's one of my favorite franchises, and because it was the year 2015, I decided to time the release to the same day that Marty McFly travels to in the second movie, and that strategy probably helped boost my views early on. To this day, I'll bet if you type into YouTube search MLP Back to the Future, it'll be the top result. Can't really ask for better than that. Alright, that's enough time spent in the past. Time to change back to present me. That's more like it. I'll admit, there are times when I miss the person I used to be, the friends I used to collaborate with, and the life I used to have that allowed me the time and energy to make all those fun video projects. Now that I've given some of them another look, and have a decade's worth of perspective to look back on them with, it makes me truly appreciate the person I am now, the life I have, and the fact that I can make more fun and punny videos and/or songs whenever I have the time, energy, and inclination to do so. The best and brightest years are still to come. Thanks so much for watching this video, and if you liked what you saw, why not like, comment, and share this video with other pony or pun lovers, and subscribe to this channel to keep an eye out for more, wait for it, bright ideas. Until next time, see you later.